All right, welcome. Curry County Board of Commissioners special meeting, March 6th, 2023. It's 2 o'clock. Please, we're going to call this to order and stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I see no public comment.
I see that Mary Rowe has
A public
arrived
comment.
with
I got one filled out from Bruce too. So that we will have them after the agenda approval. You don't have to sign it, Mary, I know we are. Anybody else would like to fill out a public comment card?
Look at that agenda.
Yep. So now is the time we'll do approval amendments to the agenda. And the only thing on the agenda for discussion is North Bank Road Repair Update, Ted Fitzgerald, and so I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda?
Second. Okay, no amendments or anything? All in favor say yes?
Yes.
Yes. Motion carries 3-0. So public comments. Mary, you're first. Ladies first.
So I was here at another meeting, so I thought I'd just come in and say this. It's a little off topic. I see that we're having an emergency meeting about this very real emergency. I see that we've had other emergency meetings about other very real emergencies. I would like to see us have an emergency meeting or a workshop this Wednesday on the whole issue of part of our population being out there in the cold, dangerously. And I know that Beth Barker Hidalgo has opened a shelter at the fairgrounds, but I also heard today from her husband that that will be closing in a couple days. And I think we need to address this and not have second-class citizens. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Very good. Bruce, do you want to?
Well, since you're taking comments,
Yep.
yes. Name's Bruce Zuber. I live out on the North Bank. Been a resident of this county for almost forever. So was in the logging business for 35, 40 years, semi-retired. I just want to say that I think, I understand you guys have kept the road closed because of possible liability issues. I've looked at it 2 or 3 times, being in the logging and road building business forever. I don't see a real problem out there opening it up to 1 lane. The ditch line has been paved, with proper signage, stop signs, barriers, so some idiot doesn't drive off up into the river and leave that light on at night. I see absolutely no reason that road can't be opened up to 1 lane traffic. Every day when we get on our cars and drive down the highway, there's a risk. I think everybody knows that. And so anyway, I just, people are getting tired of driving around. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is a deal when I've lived out there for over 30 years. And, I hate going around. But I know there's an easier way, shorter way, more economical way. And the stoplight or the stop sign out there at the Nasika Beach intersection, that's a more dangerous intersection than most people realize. Traffic's 55, 60 miles an hour, and it's kind of an odd angle. And so anyway, I just, I'm not sure what your proposed solution is at this time, but, I think the road department in less than a day could have that road opened up to the citizens out there safely. And I just don't want to see you guys, if there's some sort of a temporary fix in mind, throwing away county money to fix that road that, in my opinion, is a safe thing. And I know, I'll be honest, I've talked to the past roadmaster, Dan's shaking his head too. So, anyway.
All right.
Happy to answer any questions, so thanks.
Thanks, Bruce. So we are ready for discussion.
Well, okay, as so eloquently described by Mr. Zuber, we have a problem out there. It's been existing for way too long. It's, from my perspective, I've sort of changed hats a little bit, but I'm still the county attorney. So when a road gets closed, once it's closed, you have taken a position. The county took a position without consulting with me or with you or it just happened. Road gets closed. Now, if you want to open that road, you got to take some action. So otherwise you just closed for no reason. So we got to looking at it, and we all went out there the first day, and we saw that, the rivers, when the river's low, you're right. If the river comes up again, things are going to move. But in the meantime, we tried to figure out. We contacted Chris Ells, the geotech, and I think that was late January. We finally had a meeting on the site, and would have been great to have had that meeting earlier. But Chris Ells was asked to develop some plans. Those plans were communicated to the county some weeks ago, and I was made aware of them last week. That's why I'm here today, because the plans are an economical fix that allow us to stabilize the road in a way that is satisfied by the professional engineer. So once we've done that, we've taken the action. The first, paving the ditch line, that's a good start. That'll help. But the real problem with the raveling is coming from if and when the river comes up. It will at some point. And the reality is, we don't know how long it's going to take to actually get the funding to do a full-on fix. So we need to have something that'll hold itself, because I don't want to be sending Gary Wolford out there every day to be overseeing it. So the fix that has been designed by our consultant will allow it. It's going to become more of a maintenance issue. You're just going to have to keep an eye on it, but you're not going to have the worry of further undermining. So this addresses it with a. It's kind of hard to explain, but we talked about doing riprap. We talked about doing earth blocks. We talked about all these things. The simplest thing really is to dig a trench down the middle of that section, go down deep enough, and then put engineered fill in that's going to tie into the sandstone substrate underneath, lock it in place, and that's going to be, like you say, it can be done in next to no time. So I'm here to get the emergency authorization to get that done, because the road department is not in the position to do that fix. I was informed last week. So they've got a lot on their plate. As you can see, they got issues that they're dealing with, and we don't know when that, Mother Nature changes things around. So I'm here to ask for an emergency authorization to hire a contractor and get it solved, get the road open. And my goal, and it may take some talking, but I'm hoping, even though it's going to be raining, I'm going to get them working tomorrow, so that we can get it done, because it should happen. I've been seeing your emails. I understand where you're coming from. So my order, if you'd like me to read it. Whereas by way of order number 23208, the board authorized contracting for inspection and road determination services related to the damage to North Bank River Road associated with the December 29, 2022 storm and subsequent declaration of emergency. And whereas at the finalization of the inspection and scope determination, the county received proposed plans for a complete repair. And whereas the board finds it in the best interest of the county that such repairs be completed as soon as is reasonably possible. However, the county road department does not have the resources to complete the repairs in a timely fashion. And whereas pursuant to Section 9 of the Curry County Contract Review Rules, upon a declaration of emergency services or circumstances, the county can require the prompt execution of a contract without being subject to standard public contract selection procedures. Now, therefore, it is hereby ordered that the county may enter into contracts for construction, excavation, time and materials in connection with the repair of North Bank River Road pursuant to Section 9 of the Curry County Contract Review Rules. The selection of a contractor for the above purposes shall be exempt from the competitive process due to the above referenced emergency circumstances.
All right. So this fix that you're looking at, maybe, we're going to hire
Tidewater.
Tidewater.
They're the closest.
Kind of like ODOT,
Yeah.
you know, they're here and they're ready to
Well,
roll.
they're the closest to the,
Yep.
you know, somebody's gonna be buying rock, otherwise it's all right
Yeah.
there. And we'll hold them to their normal schedule of prices. And, our goal here is to get it done and get it done quickly and efficiently.
And with that fix, it'd be open 2 lanes.
I can't guarantee it, but it's gonna be close.
Okay.
But at least we're gonna have one lane that we can do this, you know. Then, you're right, in the location of it and we had discussed that with the roadmaster and so forth, and Dan Crumley were in there, you know, the position of that is good for single lane traffic and people, you know, my only concern is that there are probably some people up that river that aren't loggers. So you want to make sure you make it nice and safe for them. So that's what we're trying to do. And I think we can get it done quickly.
Questions, discussion? Well, my thought, and you know, I've been out there, we're gonna spend money, because at one time, it was gonna be paid for by ODOT.
Still will be.
Still will be with the fix
The
forever.
ultimate fix, yeah.
The soldier pile wall that, so, and that'll be hopefully this year.
We're gonna hope. They're you know, you gotta do potentially in-water work permits, maybe not. We hope, it just depends on how it gets designed and how that works. Normally, you'd wanna be have an in-water opportunity so that you could go in and do everything that you might want to. So, but you also don't wanna be, you don't wanna be sacrificing the fix because it's too hard to permit. You know, I mean, we need to figure out the right fix and then not be held to a timeline so that we can, that's why the road needs to be open and workable so that we have time to approach it correctly and fix it for good. It was fixed, you know, they had this problem several years ago too, and they did a fix and didn't work. So we need to stop. I mean, you can look out there and see where all the riprap is. It's in the river. And if we kept pouring it in there, it might stay, but it doesn't usually.
You don't want me, yes, I mean, it's gonna be expensive to fix it right.
Yeah,
You know, you gotta go down the river, you gotta go up the river, and there's a lot of things you have to do.
there's a lot, right. So, but we want ODOT to fix that.
Yeah.
We like 100%. Okay?
Do we have an amount, any guesstimate?
On the big fix?
No, on this?
No, we had 4 alternatives. This is the cheapest of the alternatives, or cheaper than earth block walls. This is basically mostly gonna be gravel. We're gonna be going in there, doing some excavation. We're gonna be bringing rock in. We're gonna be compacting it. And then once you've done that, then the road can continue to slough, and you can add material over the side as that stuff sloughs, and it sort of becomes its own, you know, riprap escarpment. And so you're at that point, but the problem is right now you got the undermining right here, right? So you come back over here and you harden that in. So this stuff, as it goes away, then you can just add to it, and it'll reshape itself to a bank of some sort over time. It's not going to happen right away, but we'll be able to use the whole road, and this is the widest approach we can get with any of the fixes.
Well, you know my thoughts. When I was out there with you and everybody, Dan Crumley and Chris L., I was like, we could open this to 1 lane.
Right.
But that didn't, it didn't pass the liability issues.
Well, because if you don't take proactive action, that undermining is going to continue on back, and that's what I said. I don't want Gary having to be out there every day looking underneath crawling underneath. We want that to not be an ongoing threat that somebody's going to be driving along when the undermining finally gets far enough back in there. Otherwise, we're gonna be shutting it down again as it undermines back. Whereas right now, we put this fix in, you'll be able to continue driving, and then if you need to maintain by adding stuff over the side, you can do it as appropriate.
Questions, gentlemen? Discussion?
We're following the direction of the engineer.
Correct. Correct. I asked Chris Ellis to give us his best recommendation, so he given us 4, or he gave us 3, and then he came back and he said, you know, here's a better one. And so, and it's cheaper. And it's quicker.
Okay. Well, and I think the first one wasn't that expensive.
Well, the one using earth blocks, it's 60 earth blocks. It's a pretty big stretch, and then it'd be kind of nice if you had 60 earth blocks later, but
Then they're kind of in the way of that soldier pile wall.
well, right. And so this doesn't impact the soldier wall at all.
Okay.
I just want to say that with the road department, you know, right now we've got, obviously this has been a big weekend. We have one plow working this weekend, and these guys got at it Saturday morning, and now they're up at Agnes. They were up at Agnes this morning. They've been covering. We had 3 plows. Of the 3, only 2 were operable going into this weather event. I think we need to allow, you know, we need to let the road department focus on these immediate, that's our primary mission right there, is to keep the roads travelable and keep them safe for everybody, and we need to figure out how we can get that done. And I think I got people at the road department. We're all going to work together and take a look at that. Maybe look at our mission and see, you know, because what we want is when a weather event like this rolls in, we want our guys to be able to go out, get in their machines, have them start, have them run, have them not break down, and get things, you know. We want to work on getting the roads open so that people have to get to work and get there. We don't want to have to wait. If you're in Agnes, you don't want to be waiting until Monday to hear from us. I mean, maybe they're used to it, but it doesn't make it right. So I think that's where I want to go next.
All right, gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move to approve the emergency cost associated with the road repair fix on 23208.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? David?
David Barnes, County Treasurer. Do we have a ballpark idea of how much this temporary fix is going to be?
No, not yet. I mean, it's just basically gravel. We're not buying any major improvements here. So we're just going in. It's going to be time and materials, and it's going to be not very long. So it's not going to be a huge amount.
Okay. We're not talking over $1 million.
Oh, no.
Okay, thank you.
Any other, since we allowed one, any other discussion? It's usually not what I mean when I say discussion, but anyway. All in favor say yes.
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 Motion carries 3-0.
And Mr. Zuber, if you are interested, I know I got your email saying if you want to sit down and talk, I'd love to talk to you.
You know, I don't know if things, I mean, I don't totally agree with the process that, you know, things are moving forward.
The road's been closed for way too long.
It's way too long.
And we are taking action to prevent that in the future, for sure.
And it looks like it could be open by the weekend?
That's what we're hoping. We gotta get them. We gotta get them going. Hopefully we don't have, you know, I mean, if the weather precludes work, but I think they can work in the rain, you know.
They're working in the rain right now, just on the slide. I just came through there, so.
I don't, you know, I'm good at this point, you know. Yes, it was way too long. Probably should have never been closed, but that's my opinion, and
It can't go back, right?
we can't go back.
And you can tell everybody on the North Bank, you went to a meeting and now it's gonna be fixed, so.
You're gonna like you mayor up there.
I don't think so.
Thanks for coming. All in favor of adjournment, say yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's up? Okay.
Oh, JJ.
JJ.
Yeah, I gave it to
Okay, all right, good. Okay, I'll go get going.